There has been some question regarding the current situation in the United States and in the world today. First of all, as sadhakas, as spiritual beings, how do you live through times of trouble? You have known for many years that these times are coming. You have been warned many times. This is not unexpected. But how do you relate in such times? There are times for action and times for waiting. But whether you are in action or waiting, though part of you is disturbed by the external circumstances, the pain and suffering in the world, and the turbulence and dis-ease, yet bringing your mind and heart back to the unitary whole of being, to the shelter of Guru, to the peace and calm of the depths is very important. You not only live on the surface where right now there is a storm brewing, but you live in the depths of the sea, in the eternal peace and calm, where there is no disturbance, despite the violence of the storm on the surface. So, to weather such storms is to have depth to your being and to find your solid rock, your place of shelter in the heart of the infinite. This world is always changing. When it is going well and your life is good, you think perhaps these external situations can support your being. But when it becomes stormy, then you realize, no, you cannot simply live on the surface of life. You must find your solid rock in the depths of being. There is no storm. There is no change. There is no turbulence. It is always deep love, deep peace. There your heart is sheltered in the eternal. And even in the most horrific circumstances which some people face, when their heart and mind and consciousness can be brought to the depths, it doesn't matter what happens on the physical plane. So to weather difficult and stormy times, remain ever connected to the depths of your being, to the loving shelter of the Sadguru. Parama Purusha remains ever unchanged, though in the dance of life, it appears that so many different changes are happening. And it all happens within the body of the divine being. Yet this divine consciousness, this Purusha, is never changed. The change is only an appearance. So whether the sailing is smooth or there is a storm in full force, whether it is personal or whether it is collective. Learn to go to the depths and to find peace and love. That is the substance of life. That is the vital life force. Let that divine presence always be with you, guiding you, sheltering you in the storms of life. That is number one, because it is from that calm that you can be most effective in managing the distress around you that is there for you and others, as what you have known to be your life changes. Regarding the circumstances, when there is a bright light, there is a dark shadow. The greed, the individualism, the corruption that have marked the degeneration of the Vaishyan era are coming forward like a poison being coming out of the body of humanity to the surface. These have been there, have always been there. They are a part of the human condition. The world today is changing, shifting. There is a new dawn rising, a new era, a new age. So there is upheaval. Goodness and kindness are being suppressed by desires, by corruption and greed, lust for power. There is a shift going on in the world. In the United States, a different ideology has taken hold and is controlling the government. An ideology that believes strongly in autocracy. And the idea of democracy is seen as an inefficient form of government. It is not streamlined, not effective. So this philosophy has taken over the far right of the Republican Party. It has taken over a small segment. But with it has come various forces. Those with great financial capacity have seen the opportunity to rise to power. And they are enjoying the taste of power, power they never had before. There is a change going on, not only in the United States, but throughout the world. Turbulence is there. Trump aligns differently he has an inclination towards Russia, towards dictators. He is coming out more and more openly as who he is. But he is backed by a fraction of intelligent, capable people. And so his operation is different than before. He brings chaos, but those around him bring discipline and ideology. And they use his desire for power to gain their own influence. And then others come in with their desire, the wealthy, for their influence. There is a change going on in the world. There will be a uniting of forces that have been enemies in avoidance of great wars and for the consolidation of power. The world will come together for the first time, not under Sadviparas. That is the work of spiritualists, to see that Sadviparas are put in place. People with great humanitarian compassion and love for all beings, so that as the world unites, the intention changes from power and wealth to the good of humanity and of all living beings on this planet. This change will happen. Are there any questions?
What is the timeline of this change for better? Is it during?
It is a process, not a timeline. It is a process of transformation, of upheaval, and then consolidation. There is a shift going on, one age to another, the completion of a social cycle, and the beginning of a new one.
Is this what is happening in USA? Actually beginning of dissolution of Asian era and start of Kshatriyan?
It is part and parcel of this shift.
Would you say more about this consolidation? The consolidation that I've been concerned about is the consolidation of large, powerful states in cooperation, dominating smaller states, dictating to everyone.
Is it not logical?
I don't understand the logic. In other words,
so there are choices in the world, and they remain fluid at this moment. There is the potential of war that would devastate the world. But the scale of war that the world is capable of, no one wants. It is not to anyone's advantage. Alliances between the great powers mitigate that. Leave each to their domain of territory and influence. Agreement and alliance between them mitigate war and bring spheres of consolidation. And finally, those consolidations change. So, what you are seeing is a new picture of the world, a new approach. There are three dominant powers in the world today. Either they get along or they go to war. The worst outcome would be two to gain power together, and a third, and a war. The best outcome for economic survival and peace is that the three powers have a friendly alliance and they make agreements of cooperation. Europe is a fourth power. It can be brought into that alliance. But because it is weaker, it is in trouble. This new world order may come about. I think it is entirely possible. The status of Europe is the most concerning. As for Trump, he will not last. But those behind him will. A change is taking place. A new dawn rises. A new age. There is a rocky transition. You have all known this will happen. Neo-humanism and the principles of Prout will come to the forefront. Perhaps not by those names, but those who are behind this shift, there is a longing to find a form of government that will work. There is a disillusionment with democracy, but also a disillusionment with the types of governments that have been of the past. There is a move that will ultimately result in a Catholic society. But right now, the movements are motivated by power, greed, and the desire for wealth. But beneath that, there is a ideological movement. Now, soon, is the time for action. For the principles of new humanism and proud have been violated by greed. It heads in a direction the ideological people of the far right do not want. It heads in a direction that the common people of the United States will soon find distressful. Action will be required. But I stress to you to stay in the deep calm and love of the infinite. Stay in the protective shelter of the Sadguru. It is natural that your mind will be disturbed by these events, by the inequities and the horrors, the mistreatment of people, the tragedies and the pain. What is happening in Gaza, what is happening in Ukraine cannot be ignored. What is happening and will happen in the United States cannot be ignored. But the future is bright. These times of turmoil and the rubbing of different forces against each other and of upheaval, they will pass quickly. And then dharma will prevail in the establishment of a society for the welfare of all beings, not the chaos and uncaring approach of today, not only in the United States, but throughout the world. The people are rising up demanding kindness and compassion, demanding love. Be a part of human society. You are not alone. And I think that there will be a transition to a great society. A true golden age, not the golden age of Trump, which I think is surrounded in his mind by gold bars. No. There is a bright future for this planet, for all living beings. All right.